This is a ultraviolet flashlight, and you can pick those for $1 online. So you take one of these and you turn on and you point it on top of the filter, and magically appears to be a number, which can be seen only on the ultraviolet light. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Today I'm gonna show you a comparison between 18 different oil filters for the Volkswagen Audi 2-liter TSI engine found in a lot of Jettas, Passats, Volkswagen Tiguans, as well as the GTI with slightly different modification, and in many Audis such as A3, A4, A6, Q5, Q3, and possibly a few others. In this video I will open them up and see what's the difference, and are there any better filters than the original and the aftermarket MAN filter, because when it's about performance there's still a lot of cars out there and people that are looking for better lubrication as well as better filtration and protection, so they're always curious what would be the best option regarding the oil filter. First, I'm gonna go over the outside view of the filters, which doesn't really matter that much, but will show us some very important clues. And then I will open them up and see what's the difference inside. And although this is very unscientific test, it will at least show us the way they made it and somewhat of the quality put into those filters, or some flaws which they might have. I have gathered all those filters for the last year and a half, and some of them are updated by now, but some of them are still the same. So we're gonna see, are there any differences in the different filters. First of all, I will start with the Stp oil filters. They're not very popular among Audi or Volkswagen enthusiasts, but they're available in almost every Autozone store, which most people still go, but not every Audi person. But let's see if they will have any good filter for that. Starting with the first Stp regular filter, it's this blue looking filter, and it looks just fine. So when you look into it, it has a very strange 6-hex shaped open inside, which we will find in other filters as well. So this is the regular filter, and this is the next filter, which is the 10,000 miles S1060XL for extended life. And this filter looks exactly the same, and just has different color, but we don't know yet what's inside. Although we can see the difference in between those two, it's that this one has the black nitro rubber, while this has the red so-called silicone rubber, or just silicone, which is supposedly better in lower temperatures and has a better flow when it's really cold. And so this is the surprise. When you get your maximum life 15,000 miles oil filter, it has a little bit different look. It's the same size, but if you look into it, says made in Germany. So this filter is made in Germany. This is one of the shocking stuff I found among all those filters here. Too many of them are made in Germany. How many times we've seen Scp part made in Germany from Autozone? Not that many, but apparently this is it. And then when you look into on top, the holes for the oil are 5 instead of just 4 here. Now that may not be better or worse, but that's just how it is. And there is a white rubber, which is even better, or it's actually the silicone rubber, but is white color in very cold climates and cold starts. So this is a very surprising filter to be made in Germany. And so we're gonna open it up later and see what's inside. Next is the Carquest, and those filters are found in advanced auto parts stores in which I buy most of my oil. But they have two exactly the same oil filter with exactly the same part numbers, R84561, and one of them is the old version, and this is the updated version. I just happen to have both of them, and they're totally different on the outside. Again, this is the whole the 4-hole design, and the middle center hole has a very like nasty cut hex shape, just like those two. And the other filter, it's also, when you look into it, it says, this is in Spanish, here in English, made in Germany. And this feels exactly the same like the Stp filter made in Germany. So another thing I noticed about it is when you look into them, the German made filters have the sticker upside down. If you place the filter this way, the way it sits on the car, that's how the filter sits on the car, it's upside down. And there you go. And this German filter is also upside down, while the other filters are the regular way, which now appear upside down, but they're just like that. So this is another indication of that they might actually be the same. We're gonna see later. By the way, I forgot, but this is the product of the USA, and this is also made in America. This is German, and then this is the one that's says made in the USA. So also the third Carquest filter is another made in Germany filter, and it's the same part number without the R, and it feels exactly the same. So it says made in Germany, and also has the upside down sticker. When I place it like this, the sticker, it's normal way. So also has the 5 holes and has the white media inside, or basically a white rubber, and a round center hole. This was very surprising for me to find that Carquest and Stp have made in Germany filters, which appears to be exactly the same like the original, but we're gonna see this in a little bit. Also, the Carquest has another filter, which is the heavy duty version, but I don't have it, and it's actually the same filter as this one, appears to me on the outside. So we're gonna find that later. Next is the Napa filter. I have only the Pro Select. Napa makes 3 different classes of filters: Pro Select, Gold, and Platinum, but unfortunately Platinum is not made for the 2-liter engine. They have only the Pro Select and Gold. Now, I do not have the Gold, but I have the Pro Select, and I have the old non-updated version, which is made in Poland and has that very strange shape gap here in the middle. I have seen other filters with this gap, but they don't make them anymore, and this is a all stock part, which is made by Man and Hummel. So it looks to be a good filter, while the new updated Pro Select part, it's actually the German made one, and as well as the Gold. So I do not have them, but they will be available at your store probably. That's a MicroGuard filter, which is found in Oreily stores, and I've never heard of it, or actually never pay attention to it, but appears to have this black bottom cap for protection, and is also made in Germany, and it's upside down as well. So this is the filter, and it has the same design as other German made filters: 5 holes with white anti-drain back valve. And this filter appears to me to be in very nice shape, just like the other filters. Next is the Canaan Oil Filter. It's a made in the USA oil filter, and it's the 4-hole black anti-drain back valve design with a middle hex cut. It's a little bit disappointing, as you know, Canaan make usually very nice air filters, but it's bad to see when they have the rubber anti-drain back valve, which is not really a performance part. It may work very nice, but it's better when it's the nicer materials, which they make them now. So this filter, it's very strange, but that's how they made it. So this is what they have. And also they have another type of oil filter, which is a better class, which they do not make the filter for the 2-liter TSI engine. They make only this kind of filter. This is the Wicks filter. Wicks have actually Wicks regular and Wicks XP. The XP version is usually the better one, the heavy duty one, the longer drain intervals, but they do not make a XP for the 2-liter engine. They make only the regular filter, and it has also this black cap on the bottom for protection, and it appears to be made in Germany, just same like the other German filters, with the square number inside in a code. It also has the 5-hole white anti-drain back valve design, and it's essentially the same feel like the other German made filters. Next is the Purelator. This is the L Classic filter, and Purelator has 3 classes of filters: the Classic, the One, and the Boss. The Boss is the best one, while the Classic is the, let's say, worst one. But Purelator is my favorite filter brand recently, and they have started making one of the best filters. If you see any other Purelators cut open, no matter which class are they from, you're gonna see they're really nicely made, and best part is that they're made in the USA. So this one is the L regular version, L part number, and no surprise, although they're made in the USA, this one is made in Germany, and this is the same exact filter probably. So it has the no surprise, the 5 holes with the white anti-drain back valve, and it's just as good as the rest on the outside. And here I have the Purelator Boss. Now there's something very unique about those Bosch class filters. This one, again, it's not in the USA, but it's made in Germany, and it's the same 5-hole design with the white anti-drain back valve. But on the package, on the box, it says right here, this is the 15,000 mile filter, and the reason for that, it's that they have recently started making this white media. This is the media that filters the oil inside. It's supposedly made for it's made out of a synthetic some sort of cellulose, or it's just a synthetic media. Right here on the filter in the back, you can see there are the 3 classes: the regular, the One in the Boss, and the mileage you can do. And it says the efficiency 99%, 99%, and 96.5, but this is depending on what micron they are. But the important thing is, says the Boss is 100% synthetic media, this white media. This is all of the Boss is supposed to be. The One is 99% efficiency with high density synthetic blend, and then the third one is the multi-fiber one, which is basically something like this. It doesn't have to be this, but it's something like this, which is the old school filters, which many OEM manufacturers, no exceptions, still have it. But I have seen few manufacturers switching to the white media already on their original filters, which will come in the next few years. So for now, Purelator and actually a few other brands and their high-end versions or series, like I showed the Wicks XP, let's say, the XP are always most times are this white media. Also the Napa Platinum is this kind of white media, and a few other brands. Next up is the Fram filters. Actually, Fram are most hated brand around, and for some reason, but they have recently changed their design for this filter, and it has that white cap here. But they used to have that 4-hole design with the bat center cut hex shape in the middle, but they have recently switched to made in China filter from the ones that were made in the US, and they can still be found around, but those are the ones I have. And this filter appears to be nice on the outside, but we don't know what's inside yet. So the next Fram is the same design, but it's the ultra synthetic so-called filter, which is made for longer run, and it has exactly the same design on the outside, just like their regular Fram Extra Guard. Now, Fram has been hated for a while among car enthusiasts because they kind of used to make, first of all, better filters, and then they kind of switched to a little bit poorer designs. But that's not necessarily bad. It's up to you to decide. I have another frame for another vehicle cut here. So usually they have those paper back end caps, and they're not very uniform. This one appears to be fine, and people think, well, this is gonna melt, it's a cardboard. It's actually not gonna melt, but you know, I'm sure they've made it for oil, not for water or for acid, so it shouldn't melt, and it can perform well. It's just that people don't like when they see worse quality when they can have a better quality. You know, that's why I guess people hate on frame, and there's so many stories of blown filters. And this one has a very thin can, but this may or may not be affecting the performance depending on the application. Now, we don't know how's the Volkswagen filter gonna hold next to that, so we're gonna see next. This is the Mobil one filter. Mobil one have too many fans around because they have excellent oils, and so now they have introduced the extended performance oils, which are really good for 20,000 miles when you use this filter. And this filter, it's actually USA made filter, and appears to be on the outside the same exact 4-hole, but with red anti-drain back valve design and that nasty hex cut in the middle, which is very unprecise, although this may not affect, as I said, the performance of the filter. So they advertise this up to 20,000 miles, while the other American-made filters, like the Stp Extended Life, which has the red anti-drain back valve and it's exactly the same, they advertise it only up to 10,000 miles. I'll be very interested to see what's inside those two filters, and are they the same, or is it just a trick which they make it to sell the filters. And this is the Bosch filter. This is the Bosch Premium. Bosch actually has two classes, a Premium and the Distance Plus for this car and engine. So the Premium one is the kind of regular one. It's a little bit different because it has 4-hole with red anti-drain back valve. It's like orange actually, but the middle hole is again hex, but it's totally different style of cut here. It's nice, and filter actually it's made in China, so that's not the American made filter with the nasty cut in the middle. So this filter appears to be very nice on the outside. Recently I have seen the other Bosch Distance Plus, and probably this one as well. They have moved to a German made filter, so you might find that the next filter Bosch is actually made in Germany. So finally we came to the MAN filter. Usually this is the most preferred brand after the OEM filter, as it's known that MAN makes the original Volkswagen filters on most cases, and here as well. So MAN filter, it's preferred most of the times, and it's the same German made filter that has the upside down. When you hold the filter regularly like this on the car, the picture is upside down, and this is the part number, and also have that square with the numbers inside. So this is another indication of this German made filters. This is the original OEM part from Volkswagen Audi, and it says made in Germany on it, and also has the production date. And the filter appears to be made by MAN, has the same part number, and it's upside down, so it's 7/1945 and has the 1710 right here imprinted. And this filter, you can buy it from any or actually any time you went to dealership, they will put this filter on your car supposedly. So this is the original filter, and I am really curious to find out, is it exactly the same as this MAN filter, or is it better, or is it worse, and are those other German made filters the same like them? It will be really interesting to see. I'm gonna show you something unique which you never knew and you will find surprising, and it's a very nice hack of how to tell if the filter is German made or is it man-made. Let's say you need just a flashlight for it. So I watched a presentation of a guy that works for MAN and was showing how some of the Eastern European filter markets have a counterfeit parts that are the same on the outside as the MAN filters, but obviously had very different insides. But it was really hard to tell what's the difference in between the counterfeit part and the original part. So he was showing a very nice trick. This is a ultraviolet flashlight, and you can pick those for $1 online. So you take one of these and you turn on and you point it on top of the filter, and magically appears to be a number, which can be seen only on the ultraviolet light, or it's almost impossible to see with regular on regular light. So it has MKSF FA25 here. Also has the date of production, which is 10/04/18, and the exact time. So the counterfeit parts do not have or appears to not have this number. Usually MAN, he said that MAN put those for indication somewhat of to be genuine part. So we saw a lot of German made filters which I thought they're made by MAN, but will this work for them? Well, let's find out. First of all, the SCP regular filters are made in the USA and they have the red, the yellow printing on top, which is not a ultraviolet only seen letters. You can tell that just by looking at them. While the German made filter, when you point the UV light, immediately appears those letters, and it's again the same exact MKSF25 code on this one. Next up, with the other Carquest Oil Filter, right away you can tell there's these letters here, which you almost cannot see without the UV light. Maybe a little bit on a very nice day, but you need the UV light to read it. So the unupdated or the old version of the Carquest does not have anything. It has that yellow markings on top. The other Carquest also have this MKSF25 number, and this is very cool. I have a feeling that this might be the same exact filter. The new Napa filters have that on top, most likely, while this one is the old one. As I specified, it does not have the letters here. The MicroGuard made in Germany also have that same code, but has one very interesting thing. You can ignore this might be something else or a different production line, on who knows, but the parts that are made in Germany that now have the FA23, not the FA25 number, and have that black letters, that might be another production line or might be another filter from the inside. And we're gonna see in the Wicks filter I have the 23 part number again with this very same exact or actually similar numbers. The Canaan filter is made in the USA, so it has the non-ultraviolet letters. The pure layer regular has the FA23 but does not have those black letters. Anyway, it has the original MAN indication. The Fram filters are made in China, so they have a regular black stamped letters and have nothing on top. They cannot be found, those letters. The USA made Mobil one also does not have any letters that appear on the UV light, as well as the Bosch. Now when you go over the pure layer Bosch, it has the 25 number on top, just like the original OEM Volkswagen filter has a 25 and the MAN filter has a 25. So this is a very good indication and a very nice trick that this guy showed of how to tell if this is original man-made filter. To cut open the oil filters, I will be using this metal oil filter wrench, so it will be much easier rather than cutting them with the let's say angle grinder and messing everything up inside. This way I can cleanly open them up and then compare what's inside or maybe how much do they weigh, and etc. Alright, the review is ready and I'm amazed what I found out. I think I have just found a better filter than the original Audi Volkswagen filter, but you're gonna see with your own eyes. So first thing, I will start from the beginning, and this is the SCP very regular filter, which appears to have this insert as all of those filters, and the gasket, it's actually pretty thick gasket with 3 colors. And then you have this anti-drain back valve, which is kind of hard rubber. Outside is around 40, so it's like, it's hard, it's not very hard, but it's still hard. So I was able to cut the filter, and there it is. So has this spring which holds the whole filter together. It's actually very soft, it's not really hard piece of steel rather than real spring, but I think this is the original design. So this is it. It looks very uniform, very hard, although it's kind of orangey, so it's probably a cellulose based filter. And this is the flow valve, which if for some reason the filter is clogged, this thing opens up and lets unfiltered oil to the engine, which is better than having no oil. And they have that strange mechanism here, as when you change oil filter, it does not leak oil because the filter is upside down basically. And so it has around 53 pleats, and it's a good filter. It doesn't appear to be junky filter. So the next SCP is the looks like the same plate. It looks the same filter, but has like 5 or 6 more pleats. I counted them. This is around 60, while this is around 53, and it's the same filter, with difference that there is a yellow writing on the bottom, and the gasket is like, looks like silicone, although it's like feels exactly the same like this. And now, since those are the US made filters, actually I'm surprised they're very good. That I don't think these are junk filters. Now they appear to be good. That doesn't mean they will filter very good. Maybe they will, maybe not. I have no idea, but they look good. Now I'm gonna jump from the third SCP that was made in Germany to the original filter, because it's important. So first of all, this is the original filter Audi makes, and this is also has the design, instead of a spring, it has that steel which keeps it together, and it's much harder than the other one. But the design of the filter appears to be the same way, the same style as the other aftermarkets, or basically the aftermarket is the same like the original, and it's really nice and uniform. Even one idea better than those filters, but it appears to be very similar design, although this is much harder on finger feel, the valve, than this one, but this is very hard too. So who knows? But anyway, this is the filter, and it's really strong and uniform. You cannot even squeeze that thing. So it's, look how much lighter it appears. This means it has more fibers, like synthetic fibers in the cellulose, but this is just an assumption. It's not 100% for sure. Well, if the engineers decide to let us know, please let us know. But then this is it. And then the anti-drain back valve is really soft, even in cold weather, white gasket, and it's this is a big clue here. And then the this is the other rubber gasket on the outside, which appears to be just rubber, but who knows. And this is the so-called drip tray. And this is the insert, which was with a red Loctite, and was really hard, actually a thread lock. And then so this is the original filter, and this is the aftermarket man, which to me appears to be exactly the same filter as the original, with one exception. So the steel plate on top is absolutely exactly the same, and then the filter it's exactly the same, really hard and sturdy. You can't even squeeze that thing. So it has the same exact gasket right here, and this is it. The gasket is the same. The only difference I found is the insert right here is a little bit shorter, but it's the same size, I guess. So it may or may not affect the function. So it has the this plastic thing also was different. Whatever that part is, this is no part number on it except some letters, while this has a part number here, and you will see this part number goes around the other filters. So the original and the aftermarket man appears to be except few small difference, and this may be just to justify that this should be the original filter, should have been a little bit more overbuilt. Although if this is overbuilt, who knows, but it appears to be exactly the same filter. So if you want the original protection, you can go to man and have no problems. But are there any better? Well, let's find out. And so, yes, we're jumping to the Scp filter, and here is the huge surprise. First of all, the plastic piece here has the same exact part number and the same exact insert, as well as a gasket with two colors, blue, white and blue. And the man filter, actually, the original filter has this, but the colors are two different blues. Well, anyways, at least the plastic part and the insert on the Scp and on the man are exactly the same, so that tells me this is from the same factory as all other clues. And this is another very important thing, the gasket, anti-drain back valve, actually it's exactly the same too. This is it, this is the original one, and you're gonna see the gaskets are exactly the same. They're not different at all. So how about the filtering media? Well, the filtering media is a surprise, a white synthetic media with the same exact steel spring pieces, stamped steel, which is very strong. And this is the filtering media. Wow, it's really strong as well. It appears to be exactly the same, with exactly the same hard to press backflow valve. And so this is the filter. I think this is just a little bit better in terms of filtration or new technology in filtration than this. And this makes me think that that's because the Volkswagen, Audi recently have moved to this kind of white media. So I think I've never thought I will say that. I think this Scp it's better filtered than the original. I never thought I would say so, but that's up to you to decide. It's we don't know yet for the rest of the filters. Also, the cans that I cut open were exactly the same thickness, exactly the same hard to open. You can tell they're exactly the same material and feel. And while the Scp cans were a lot softer, but not really soft, and they were actually nice inside. So this is another thing which makes me think that this filter is really much better than those, for example. And it's up to you to decide if the thickness of the can makes a difference. So next is the Carquest filter, which is another German-made filter with another very thick can, and then the same spring plate and the same filter media, just like the original one. And I was right about the clue that they are all made by the same factory, probably, or probably the same assembly line. But if you want to buy original filter, you can go to Advanced Auto Parts and buy their Carquest filter, which they give for free many times when you buy oil. That's crazy. I never thought I would say so, but this is it. And the gasket is the same, and as well as this bottom plate, which I didn't pay attention at the beginning, but it appears to be exactly the same for the man-made filters. And it's like almost like a square inside with round edges, and this is exactly the same here. So that's all for the Carquest German filter. Well, the old Carquest part, you can see here, it appears to be with that cheap spring plate, just like the SCP, and has the yellow writings and has around 60 pleats, just like this filter. So who knows, they may be from the same factory, but it has the like rubber anti-drain back valve, and also this plate right here appears to be the same for the regular STPs, two regular STPs, and this old filter. But I don't think you can find this anymore, or maybe you have it around, who knows. So this is the better version here of the Carquest, and again has this, right away you can tell that it has this same white gasket. And if you remember, this is the filter with the that I thought it's the man-made filter with the letters on top. Let's open it up and see. And yes, this is another original filter, basically with the same exact steel plate. So again, you can go to Advanced Auto and buy original filter. Maybe that's how you feel, or you don't have a dealer nearby, and so they give them for free. But well, price point is something I really don't take here as a fair comparison. It's just about the way the filters feel. The price is very subjective. I'm going to talk about this a little later. So this is it for that filter. The Napa Pro Select, the unupdated filter, very interesting filter. This was the Polish made filter, has a little bit different plastic and the metal insert here, but filter appears to be very nice. The can is probably even thicker because of, and it's harder because of this gap here. It's even thicker than the original and the other aftermarket, in quotes, original ones, and it has a little bit different design. It has those put together pleats and does not have a metal plate on top, but that's how they made it. That's probably a different design, and it has the somewhat of a different spring mechanism. Very strange. But this filter is no longer in use, so probably you won't ever see it, but it doesn't appear to be a bad filter. You can use it with no problem, and it's way tighter to close, so I'm just gonna keep it open. The microguard filter again had this so it's with the this is another spring here, but anyway, this is the spring, which is exactly the same. The microguard filter is another original Audi Volkswagen filter with the white silicone gasket and the same plastic part number here, just like all those German made filter, including the man filter. So that's about for a microguard. This is from Oreily, so Oreily probably sells original filters. I never knew that. And now comes the Canaan filter. The Canaan filter appears to have different type of plastic drip tray, which says drip tray on it. And from those that I saw already, the regular SCP also have the same part number that says drip tray. So this may be it, and let's see. And this was very easy to open, by the way, as well as those first two regular SCPs. They were really easy to open. So there you go. You open it up, has the same cheap, softer spring, which probably does the job. Has the black anti-drain back valve, which is from rubber or neutral rubber, and has this very not very even actually, but very disappointing you know, from Canaan, very disappointing filtering media. Now this probably filters just as good as those original and aftermarket ones, or maybe not. We have no idea. Now the number of the pleats does not necessarily mean that filter is better, depending on the flow, depending on the filtering size and everything. So this is a big science here, but I'm gonna compare apples to apples here. Well, this filter has it's just the same like the regular SCP. Doesn't appear to be any different to me. There you go. So very disappointing. Canaan does not make a better filter version, because Canaan has a high-end filters which are with just as good as, let's say, those white synthetic media. So but bad job from Canaan for not making filters for the 2-liter TSI engine. So that's about it. The Wicks filter, you can see it was a failure. I could not open this filter. It took a while to unscrew this part and it could not come out. So this filter appears to be again German made filter as we specify already, and it's the one with the not the white but the yellowish media. So it's pretty much another original filter. So if you want a Wicks filter, you're basically buying a original Audi Volkswagen filter. And now is the Pure Later, which I specify that is probably my favorite brand, and that's for a few reasons, but nevertheless, let's open this up right away. First, we can see that it's the white silicone anti-drain back valve, and it's the same plastic part number here. So when you open the can, and no surprise, same steel plate spring hard, and that's another original filter. So Pure Later, even that's why I like that brand. Actually, I will specify that it's a man brand already, but it's a great brand. Even in the regular cheapest filter, they're really good. And also I have them for free most of the times from Advanced Auto Parts. And the can, you can see it's the same, has a little overspray on the inside, but yeah, it's really thick can, just like the other ones. Has some not really rust, some stuff inside, but this also was true for the man. So I guess this is the process, or maybe that's because I exposed him into the -20 winter. This one does not, but this was bought on very recently. So anyway, this is another original filter here, the Pure Later regular, and then the Pure Later Boss. Will that be the white media? And yes, it is. It is the same spring plate here, and the better part here is that this is another improved filter according to me than the original. So this is a better filter which you can buy, and it's really hard to press this valve. It's really hard. Yeah, it opens up eventually, but it's really hard. So that's, I guess this is good. The filter is really sturdy as well, and has the white gasket and has the same insert, the same plastic part number here. So I'm not surprised. That's why I say the Pure Later does not have those rust spots inside. They're not really rust, but this may be just from storage. So Pure Later makes very nice filters for other cars, so that's why I like it mostly. But now, since I know what's inside the Volkswagen Audi filter, this keeps to be my favorite brand. Now, I'm not sponsored by Pure Later, but if Pure Later wants to sponsor me, hey, they're more than welcome. Send me filters, send me check, it's up to you, but I like the filters nevertheless. As a matter of fact, all those brands, nobody sponsors me, so if they want to send me filters, please do. If not, then I'll just keep spending money to buy them. So next up is the frame, and this is very strange here, as the usually if you have this frame, you may have the old version, which was the STP version, and let's see the updated one, which is made in China. And there you go, it's a surprise. So it's has that spring, real spring. Now real spring is always better than the steel plate, but that doesn't mean it's better in this case, because this is the original design of the filter. So will this work better? Who knows? And also it has this strangely different type of valve here, but who knows? And the filter itself it's very nice. I'm so surprised. It's really strong, almost as strong as the pretty same strain as the other German made filters. Just look at it. Yes, so it's really good. I'm surprised. I never thought I would like frame, but so if for some reason you have frame, if you're not afraid from this different mechanism, this should be fine. If the valve is a little bit easier to open, but not really easy. So this filter appears to me to be very good. I never thought I would say I like frame now, but it has that silicone anti-drain back valve, which is really soft, by the way, really nice. And this insert appears to be a little bit moving, but maybe from when I open it up. The insert and the drip tray are have no brand on them, but they look fine. And the gasket here appears to be like a silicone, very nice and soft, a little bit different than the German-made gaskets, but this may not be indication. So you know why people hate on frame? Well, if you remember this old filter, what would you choose? Do you want filter made like this or like this? Why frame does make filter like this one when they can make filter like this? Will I buy them? Well, when they start making all the basic filters as good as this one, at least on the build side, I will buy them. Until then, for other brands and cars that I have, I will not buy them. But this one is really good for what I thought it would be. And now let's see the extended life filter. And wow, another surprise. This is the same spring as this one, but then this is a wire mesh backed white synthetic filter. It's a little bit softer, but not really. This is due to the softness of the material. So it's really nice filter, and it's I'm just surprised how they made this synthetic nice media. So good job, Fram. I never thought I would say so, but please do filters like this on all other vehicles. Don't make cheap filters like this one, please. Just make those, and maybe all of a sudden you're framed the best filters again. But until then, we'll see. And the can is actually thick as well, a little bit thicker than the SCP, probably a little bit thinner than the German made. Yeah, it's almost the same. So good job here by Fram. Now this is pretty hard to find, pretty expensive, but nevertheless the Chinese made Fram is really good. Also Fram makes this class of filters for other vehicles, which is probably the same style of media, but who knows. For the regular, I already said it's good enough for me. Let's see the Mobil 1 filter, which many people buy, and especially this very long 20,000 mile advertised extended performance, which is actually possible if you drive on the highway with 200 rpm, or who knows, very light duty use, or you drive with a 20,000 mile long downhill. And you don't load your engine, so it may last as long or maybe more, who knows. But they advertise it as 20,000 mile filter, which is more than even the Fram or for sure the original configurations here. And let's open it up, let's see. So there you go. Appears to be the same, the STP style spring here, really cheaply made. And what a disappointment. This is right away really big disappointment from Mobil 1, a brand that I usually trust, and I actually buy their oil because it's really good. The oil is no joke. But this filter, okay, we specify that has the yellow markings, which is the same as the second Stp filter. So it's good, it's sturdy again, just like this one, but this one is more money than this one. And you can you know, if you want that exact filter for some reason, you better buy that one rather than the Mobil 1 for 20,000 miles. I can't believe they, at least they should have made it in Germany. They should have paid man to produce it for them, and then maybe it could last. But who knows, maybe this media is superior to this one, or to this one, or to the original one. We don't know that. I can just guess. And so disappointment here. The silicone valve, it's yeah, it's pretty much almost actually the same like the SCP. It's the same like the regular old Carquest, but it's different, same shape but different color and probably material, although it looks pretty hard, just like the rubber. So maybe it's just a orange rubber, who knows. But it's I think this is disappointment from Mobil 1. Maybe by the time you watch this video, they will be updating the part with another filter, who knows. But that's about it. And then this is the Bosch filter right next to it. So it also has this spring mechanism, but the spring is smaller. So this is different filter, different than all of the others I have seen. It's again really uniform and sturdy, and it has a different mechanism here for the oil flow. Anyway, the filter is different. It's much lighter, but this could be due to the steel inside and the missing spring there, or there is a smaller spring. So the valve is really small in here. It's kind of hard to open, but yeah, it's a cool filter. The gasket here, the anti-drain back valve, it's cool color. That's all I can say. Is if it's good, I don't know, but it's soft, so that's a good indication. If it's really hard, imagine when it's minus 20 or 30 degrees, how hard would that be? So the Bosch filter is a good filter, and the better Bosch, which I don't have, it's a German-made filter. So you can go with Bosch with no problems at all, and the can is also really thick, almost as thick as the original filter. And now for conclusion, I can say this was absolutely amazing test for me to see all those different filters, how they are inside, with something that Volkswagen never said. They never said, hey, you can go to Advanced Auto Parts and buy your original filter, or to any parts store and have a version of our original filter. Now everything is comes on price, and the price is very unique to every filter, because they sell them in different places, and it's not something that I consider, because price, sometimes I get them for free, or you can have them a friend give it to you, or any other way. So these are the prices. I pay $4.99 for this filter, $8.99, and then $11.99. Sometimes these come for free with the oil you buy. So that's why the price is very subjective. Now maybe you live in Alaska and you have no dealer or store nearby, so you just go to whatever they have in the nearest store. Maybe you need to change the oil the same day, so you have no time to wait for the original filter to arrive, and the dealer is 200 miles away. So you go to the store and you want to buy something good quality. Well, now you know, if you can find this filter, that this is probably better quality than the original, or better filtering, let's say, for performance car. You can buy it safely, and or you can have a store, which, let's say, a local store have 200 of those filters, but nobody bought them because nobody goes to that store with Volkswagen. So all of a sudden I've seen stores selling different filters for $1, and you just buy them. That doesn't mean they're bad. They just want to let go of them, or somebody can give it for free. So that's not an indication the price. So you can, let's say, buy a filter like this for $1, and if this dollar justify the price and the quality, so you can have it. I'll go really quick over the prices. These filters can be found for, I didn't buy them for this much, but that's how much they cost. Most of them I have for free. So $4.99, $8.99, $11.99. This is pretty good price. $12.99 for original filter. This is the old, again, $12.99, but they can be found no more. $18.99 for this filter. This is a lot of money. Said that this filter is the same like a $12.99 filter. This is really strange, Carquest, but yeah, that's how they do that for other filters. They don't care what's inside. That's kind of strange. The Pro Select is $14.99, and the other filter, the gold, is more than that. But the gold may actually, the new one, which is German made, may be just like the white media filters, or may not be. You can buy one and cut it open and see. A microguard is $12.99, good price for the original filter. And then the Canaan, very disappointing, $19.99. So $20 for the worst, or like one of the regular, very regular filters. So $8.99, $12.99, but then you can have it for free if that's how you can find them. And the Wicks filter is $18.99, so original filter for $18.99. And sorry for this ugly view, but anyway, the Pure Later, $15.99. It's a lot of money for filter, but this is original filter, so you can have it for free also. Like I said, and then this one is $17.99, so it's a very good price. but nothing like the SCP 1199 price. By the way, this filter is hard to find, so who knows. And the frame is 1329, not a bad price for a frame. And then that's this quality, and this one is like 21.99, or actually $21 even, but it's kind of hard to find too. That quality, yeah, maybe it's $20 filter. It's up to you to decide. $16.99 for the Mobil one, kind of too much for a regular filter, and $8.99 for a Bosch with really good quality. And so the man filter is $16.99, or you can find them cheaper when you buy more, which is a lot. And then the original filter is $10. It was around 9 something plus tax, so $10. But all those prices, as I said, are very subjective. It depends on you, on what you can pay for, or where you are, and what is available. And there are other filters like Champion Labs, which also have the German-made filter by now, and they used to be the regular filter, probably like the regular SCP. But it's been really big fun for me to cut open all those filters. And most of them, when I buy oil from Advanced Auto, they give me a free filter. So I have all those European spec oils, and Royal Purple, and other Castrol. So you're the one who decide what to use in your car and what's appropriate. Are you daily driving it? Are you racing it? How often do you change it? Do you do extended drain intervals, or etc etc? So for me, I'm really surprised now. I will with no doubt keep my favorite brand here, and keep getting this filter because I have it for free. And if you can have other for free, you can choose which one you want and have it for free. But now, please don't hate on me, because I found that thing that there's probably better filter than the original. But actually, the original, I'm sure that if these filters were made in the same factory, they could have made this one with the white media. But since this is already probably more than 10 years, since 2008 or earlier, this filter has been made, so they cannot replace it with that filter, or it will be a different part number, or they can supersede it. It's up to them. But anyway, I would stick to the original if I didn't know nothing. But now that I know, I probably buy the upgraded versions. And man, well, it's perfect filter. I've been using man in all my cars for a long time, and they're great filters now for other cars. Let's say BMW, Mercedes, or any other brands. The man may have different versions, different quality. We don't know. You have to see it for yourself. But for that filter, man, it's great filter, as well as all other German-made filters. So basically, what you can do is you take your UV flashlight, you go to the store and start looking on top. Chances are you're getting original filter, and even if it's not this white filter, you can have the regular. So we have like 5 original filters plus 2 more which are updated versions, and I have few others that I didn't buy. So just unbelievable. I will always be glad to hear opinions, and I'm sure there's people there who know more. Please let me know, write in the comments. And it's very nice that I was able to cut open those filters, because even very high-end mechanics, they said, oh, we can just buy the man filter, or just the original is the best. There are no betters. Well, maybe those are better, maybe not, but those are the same. If I had a laboratory, I would find out, is this the same exact like this one? And I think it is, but who knows? Maybe the inside material is different, or there's something else, which I don't think so. And also the let's say when we pick up just the regular Carquest here, and it's 120 grams filter, while the original filter right here is 118 gram. So 1 gram is due to error of the measuring scale, or it could be due to the dust. But let's say the man, well, actually I picked up the gasket, so my bad. 118. This again, 118. So yeah, there you go. It's the same filter. The other Carquest, 119. This could be due to error, but that's the same filter. And let's see that pure liter here, 119 as well. This is not very precise, so 1 gram is allowed. But let's see this other filter right here, the pure liter Bosch. So it's 130. Wow, so it's heavier. Let's see the SCP one. 129. So again, this 1 gram, it's allowed. Maybe that scale is really bad. So if you take the can, although I was trying to cut them with the exact same height, they might not be. So the man, it's 110 gram right here. This is very, very imprecise, but just for reference. In the original 109. So let's see the STP can, 107. So that's maybe due to the sticker, or this has more paint here for lettering. We don't know that, but let's see this 107 as well. We're gonna pick up random German filters, which we have plenty. And this is also 107. And the pure liter, 111. So this is probably due to the way I cut them, or the paint on them, the amount of paint on them. But yeah, this, I think they're all, there you go, 107 for the pure liter Bosch. So I think they're all exact same steel. Maybe they're made by the same people or the same machines. And I bet you if they're made by the same people, the guy that make those filter will be thinking, or whoever makes them will be thinking, that's just crazy. This is all different filters they've never seen, like different brands. Where do they go for? So it probably is. It's very weird there to make all those the same exact filter with different brands. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.